An Israeli airstrike on Iran could be imminent, according to warnings by US and European officials amid growing tensions over Iran's nuclear arsenal. Israel has for months asked the US to cooperate in striking Iran's nuclear facilities while the country's leadership was vulnerable. The White House initially refused, in the hopes of rebuilding a nuclear deal with Iran after US President Donald Trump scrapped the existing one during his first term in office. But talks appear to have hit a road bump, with Trump admitting that he's now losing confidence.
Well, they're just asking for things that you can't do. They don't want to give up what they have to give up. You know what that is. They seek enrichment. We can't have enrichment. We want just the opposite. And so far, they're not there. I hate to say that because the alternative is a very, very dire one, but they're not there. They have given us their thoughts on the deal, and I said, it's just not acceptable.
Meanwhile, the International Atomic Energy Agency, the UN watchdog that monitors nuclear enrichment, condemned Iran for not complying with international nuclear safeguards for the first time in 20 years. Iran responded by announcing on state television that it would build a new uranium enrichment facility in a secure location. Despite the next round of nuclear talks between the US and Iran slated for Sunday, Israel has reportedly seized on Trump's growing pessimism to push again for a military strike. Iran has threatened to retaliate if it's attacked, including targeting US bases in the region. In response to that, the US has begun evacuating state personnel from Iraq, Bahrain, and Kuwait. Although Trump has warned Israel not to strike while talks are ongoing, he himself has repeatedly indicated he would resort to force if they fail. And whether or not Israel will wait for them to do so is yet to be seen.
Over 200 people appear to have been killed after a passenger plane travelling from India to London crashed moments after takeoff this morning. The Boeing jet carried 242 people, including 169 Indian nationals, 53 British citizens, 7 Portuguese and 1 Canadian. It was due to land in London's Gatwick Airport later today. Search and rescue efforts are ongoing at the crash site in a residential area of Ahmedabad, where the city police commissioner told reporters one survivor had been recovered. Reportedly, a British citizen sat in 11A. More than 100 bodies have been recovered from the crash site, but the total number of fatalities remains unclear as emergency services work through the wreckage.
Former British Prime Minister David Cameron could be criminally liable over threats he made to the ICC prosecutor Karim Khan. An exclusive investigation from Middle East Eye revealed this week that Cameron, then Foreign Secretary, threatened to withdraw the UK from the Rome Statute and defund the ICC if it went ahead with arrest warrants against Israeli leaders. In a tense phone call in April 2024, Cameron told ICC Chief Karim Khan that prosecuting Israel over its war in Gaza was a huge mistake, and that issuing arrest warrants would be akin to dropping a hydrogen bomb. David Cameron hasn't responded to our request for comments, but several legal experts told MEE that under both British and ICC rules, the former Foreign Secretary could be investigated for attempting to obstruct the course of justice. Former Scottish First Minister Hamza Yusuf, who was in office when the incident occurred, told MEE he intends to call on the government for a formal investigation.
These are absolutely shocking revelations. And if true, then Lord Cameron has to be held to account. And I myself will be writing to the chair of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, Emily Thornberry, to ask that committee to investigate. We are talking about a matter of the utmost seriousness here. We need to know whether a serving British Foreign Secretary at the time threatened to defund the International Criminal Court.
And you can read our exclusive reporting on David Cameron and the ICC by heading to our website at middleeasteye.net.
And finally, a US federal judge has ruled that the Trump administration can no longer detain or deport Columbia graduate Mahmoud Khalil based on claims he poses a threat to foreign policy. The court has ordered his release by tomorrow. However, the judge noted that Khalil could still remain in custody based on US officials' claims that he inaccurately filled out his green card application. Despite not facing any charges, Khalil was detained in March over his pro-Palestine activism at Columbia University. Held for 3 months in a detention facility in Louisiana, Khalil missed the birth of his child and only saw his wife once in that time. He is just one of several foreign residents in the Trump administration who have attempted to be deported in the administration's nationwide crackdowns on pro-Palestine speech and immigration. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio said in March that he'd revoked at least 300 student visas based on their pro-Palestine activism. The judgment is legally binding, but Trump has ignored court orders before. The president faces accusations of contempt of court over his defiance of a direct order to reverse 2 deportation flights to El Salvador in March. The government has been given until Friday to appeal the ruling or release Khalil.